Yo, if your business is not growing as fast as you want it to be right now, if it's not where you want or where you expect it, if your life in general, forget business, if your life isn't where you want it to be, the thing that you might be missing out on, the thing that you might need that's going to change everything is some good old-fashioned junkie energy. So I was thinking about this the other day on a walk. I live in downtown Minneapolis, a couple blocks away from the football stadium, and that kind of attracts a large homeless population. And unfortunately, it's a bummer like that we as a civilized culture don't have a better way of handling like mental health issues. And I think there's a massive prevalence of that within the homeless community, and it's a freaking shame that we're not doing better about this. But within that community, there's a high prevalence of mental health issues, but there's also high prevalence of drug usage. And I was going for a walk, and we walked by a guy who was very, very, very clearly on drugs. And I see him all the time. He's a regular in my neighborhood. He's just always around, kind of wandering in his kind of zombie-like state. And what I found really interesting about this, as I was like watching him and thinking about it, is that guy wakes up every morning and he has nothing. He has he has shoes, but not great shoes. He has no money. He has no resources, no network. He has no opportunities in front of him. He has nothing. And yet that guy every single day somehow manages, by the end of the day, to get his fix. He manages every single day, despite waking up with absolutely nothing, with the world stacked against him, he manages to get the thing that, for better or worse, he wants in that moment more than anything else, which is his fix. And I think about that, and like, if he could apply that towards other more beneficial areas of his life, he would be doing way better, obviously. But drug addiction is it's a bitch. Like, it is what it is, right? Now, I think we can take that though and apply it to our lives, and realizing that if you're motivated enough, if you have a strong enough why, you can endure anyhow. And if your business isn't where you want it to be, it's probably because you're not moving with enough energy. You're not applying yourself with enough fervor and force. And one of the things that we know for sure is that the quality of our results is an output of the quality of our focus. And our focus is dependent on the quality of our energy. If we have higher energy, we're well slept, we're well recovered, then we have more to put towards the day, the opportunities in front of us, right? So one of the things that's so damn important, if we want that junkie energy without having to, be a junkie, then we need to think about how are we maximizing our energy so that we're in a place to do our best at all times. So here are 8 healthier ways than just drugs to help boost your energy levels. Things to think about. These are easy levers to pull. Maybe not easy, simple. Some of them are harder than others, but all of them definitely worth pulling if you want to increase the quality of your energy levels, which honestly, why wouldn't you want that? So number 1, sleep more. We know that sleep is linked with all sorts of good things. When you're not rested, your cognitive capabilities decline, your energy levels decline, everything. Like the health consequences of not getting enough sleep, no bueno. So get more sleep. Number 2, stop eating out. Now, I'm not saying eating out is bad per se, but when you do eat out, like the portions are big, it's usually covered in butter. Even when you're out eating someplace healthy, it's probably just not the best food for you. So it's very calorically dense, and there's a lot of it, which is a double whammy. And in general, when I'm feeling the highest energy levels in my own life, it's when I'm eating out less and I'm eating in, and we're cooking more often, and just being more conscious about what we're putting into our body. You can go about that however you want. I'm not saying stop eating out entirely. I'm just saying be conscious of it. Number 3, drink more water. Water is linked with, water is life. It's the essence of life. And I'm not saying you need to drink a gallon of water every day, but just make sure you're getting enough in you, especially in the mornings when you first wake up. Because if you're like me, if you're a mouth breather, you lose a lot of water in the night through your mouth. So refill, get your brain firing. It needs water to do all the things that your brain does. Number 4 is don't drink your calories. I find that when I'm drinking, if you're drinking alcohol, that's a really bad no-no. Cut alcohol. I'm not going to say alcohol is evil, but there's really nothing good that comes from it. And so don't know what you really need it for. But don't drink your calories. Don't drink sodas or juices, things that are very sugary. Like that's an easy way to put thousands of calories into your body. And the problem with, eating a ton of calories or consuming a lot of calories is that it creates the digestion and rest system. So it puts you into wanting to be lethargic and tired while you go through digesting your feast. And so limiting your caloric intake to at least what you need and being conscious that you're getting the good calories that your body desires, not just the easily what was the word? Easily gotten? That's not what I want to say. Sometimes talking is very hard. These podcasts, I don't know if you guys realize, it can be difficult. Easily attained. We'll say that. So calories that are easily attained, we'll avoid those. All right, number 5, limit your caffeine intake. I don't think that caffeine necessarily affects me all that much. Every now and then will take like a month off of caffeine entirely, and I really don't feel that much different. I don't get headaches, I don't get shakes, I don't get energy crashes or anything like that. So, some people just don't respond a lot to caffeine, but some of you, if you're using caffeine to get up in the morning, get moving, and then like keep your energy levels spiked throughout the day, if it becomes a crutch, you need to reset your systems. You should not be dependent on caffeine. It should be that nice little extra edge, but it shouldn't be the thing that's keeping the engine running. That's no bueno. Number 6, get sunlight in your eyes right away in the morning, right upon waking. This is important for resetting your circadian rhythm, which is going to make it more likely that you're going to get good sleep in the evening. So good night of sleep starts in the morning. It's crazy, but it's true. Now, if you don't have sunlight, then you can get what I have a red light panel that I sit in front of because I live in Minnesota. In the winter months, we don't have any sun. I get seasonal affective disorder, and that's been very, very helpful for me, is having a light that I can sit in front of in the morning, first thing upon waking, and not very expensive, but well worth it. Number 7 is manage your cortisol levels in some way. I use a supplement for this called Cortease, Corteaze. I don't get any kickbacks for that or anything. Just find a cortisol supplement that works for you, because I was not aware of how much stress my body was feeling how my body was feeling the effects of the stress that I am just generally under at all times. Because for whatever reason, people with ADHD don't have what's called interoception, which means we're not great at being able to feel our bodies. And one of the aspects of that is I don't really feel a lot of stress. I don't feel like wild mood fluctuations all that much. And so on the one hand, I know that there's stress in my life, but because I don't feel the physical manifestations of it, or I'm just not self-aware enough to realize that I'm feeling it, I don't think about it. I just kind of assume it's not there. The reality is your body is still experiencing it. And whether or not you choose to acknowledge it cognitively, that's irrelevant. Your body is still experiencing the manifestations of stress. So cortisol is, the stress hormone. And so anything that we can do to kind of like mitigate and manage that, I think is very, very helpful. And there's natural ways of managing that, which you should be exploring through diet, nutrition, exercise, all these things. But the supplement actually has been very, very helpful. I was blown away last year when I went on a supplement, and it had a very massive positive influence on how I felt. So I'm recommending it. Give it a shot. And the last thing, number 8, or the 8 tiny habits, because I don't know if I even said this at the beginning, but here are 8 tiny habits to 10x your energy. Anyways, this is number 8, is get your heart rate up every day into zone 2. So zone 2 is different for everybody, but just get to the point where you're out of breath. It's uncomfortable to hold a conversation with the person next to you, whether that's a bicycle, it's running, it's swimming, it's lifting weights, whatever it is. Find a way to get your heart rate up, because this has been correlated with longer life expectancies, longer quality of life, or higher quality of life throughout that period, and just overall generally higher energy levels throughout the day. So those are 8 tiny habits to 10x your energy and give you that good junkie energy, but without the drugs. So take these, run with them. Let me know. What are there any on your list that you're consistently falling back on in your life that have been helpful for you? Let me know. I'd like to explore and keep learning, because how we manage our energy is, I think, one of the most fundamental skills that we all need to learn. And all of us are different, so we have to push and pull our different levers and buttons differently, and it changes with time as well. So what worked for me a year ago or 10 years ago maybe doesn't work anymore. And so it's a constant process of tinkering, which makes it a lot of fun to explore, but it also can make it a lot of work. So let's try and make it easier and share some ideas with one another to lighten that load. So that's going to do it for me, guys and gals. I appreciate you as always. Thanks for being here. We'll catch you back around these parts tomorrow, but until then, stay hyper-focused, my friend.